Hi, I am Sentimus Prime, and here I'll be reviewing the Figma Satsuki kiryuin. So here it is, and first and foremost, we'll be looking at the design of this figure. Here it is. Here's a nice look at the figure. Here's a figure of how she looks from the back. It's pretty good. I will say the paint, looks like the paint apps are really nice and clean, which is really good. You can point out a lot of nice details from the vents, from the sides to the linings on the limbs. Nice blue stripings on the limbs. Really nice. The little skirt pieces are pretty nicely done too. The back of the figure. On the back you get like this really nice, cool looking spinal cord. Like almost spinal cord looking strap thing on the back. Let's take the stand. The back is done really nice. You get like these nice little diamond shapes. You get a good look at that long flowing hair. Looks really cool. The blue straps on the front look nice and neat. Pretty cool. The shoulder pad, the Junket's shoulder pads look really cool, and her head looks pretty nice too. We have a good look for her head sculpt. Now these little locks of hair on the front, these are nice and flexible, and these little points at the top, like the little ears things on the side and the shoulder pad, these things are sharp, nice and pointy, fine tip to them. These have a tendency to come off, but oh well. I will say the paint apps on this thing looks really nice and clean, which makes me think that this is a boot, which makes me even more sure that this is that my Ryuko Matoi Figma figure is a bootleg. Now if I try to stand her up, can I try to stand her up? Oh, alright. That's good. We can take a look at the stand. Really nice. I will compare the stand to the one that Ryuko has. You see here, the articulation and stuff on it is pretty much the same. But the main difference is here, these little bar things are super nice and solid, whereas the Ryuko Matoi ones, they have these little air pockets in them. So there's that. So with that, so it has regular swivels and hinges and rotations and stuff. And nice. So now let's get on to the articulation of the figure herself. So the head is all on a ball joint. It is also on one of those Figma hinges, so it can look down a really good amount. And despite how it looks, these little hair lock pieces, they don't get in the way at all. They bend out of the way. Really nice. Very expressive ball joint. You can look pretty good. You can look left and right pretty good. These little locks of hair, they're on their own little figma joints. So you can like move them around. Whoop. So you can like remove these. So this is basically the joint. You basically have like a peg and a little hinge and probably another swivel in there somewhere that plugs in. So you have like nice rotations and movements. The hair here is also flexible, so you can work that. Looks real. When posed, this hair looks really natural. Just looks like it's just flowing through the wind like it's a cape. Very nice. The shoulder pads. The Junketsu shoulder pads. First of all, they can hinge forward and back like this, which is pretty neat. Pretty nice. They can also rotate up and forward and back like this. Like they have like a little figma joint right there. So they have like a nice range of movements. Almost as if they're on a ball joint, even though they're not. Now, there's also another figma joint in here where it can rotate this part of the shoulder pad around. Now, you may think that might be like a little weird joint to use, but you have the joint. So think about it like this. You have the arm point out like this. Alright? Then you can utilize that joint that make it so Junketsu is still looking forward. So that's nice. So let's get this away for now. So the shoulders, they're on a ball joint that you can push in and pull out and extend. Really nice. I guess you can like push them in for like nice close together, then you can like pull it out for like more articulation. Really nice. But that combined with the regular like figma joint where it's like a hinge and a swivel, you got a good range of movement on the shoulder. Really nice. So you have like a bicep rotation like up here above this little blue stripe white block thing. Get one underneath that block thing, and you get a bicep swivel right down here. Lots of bicep swivels. Very decent. Elbow can rotate that far. That's a good range for an elbow. A really good range for an elbow. Hand. They can do these are like those figma joints, so they have a really nice range of movements. Really, really good. You can like rotate it and hinge it around. More sophisticated than a typical mushroom peg swivel of a transformer figure. The torso is on, I think it's a ball joint. It can obviously rotate. It can arc. You can arc the back. You can do an ab crunch. She can tilt that side to side. I think because of the stripes, it doesn't really want to stay in some poses, but it's fine. Okay, so legs. these like to come off. Can be annoying, but it's alright. Legs can rotate a decent amount. They can rotate back, not quite that far. They can go out to the side. Just a little bit. And she has a thigh rotation. She also has a bend at the knee, a pretty decent one. And you also have ankle rocking. You have ankle swivels. You can utilize the joints, so you can have an ankle tilt if you want. Pretty good. Pretty nice range of articulation. Really good. And I will say that the joints on this figure, they feel so much nicer. They feel a good bit nicer than the joints on the Figma Ryukamatoi. Because this one's probably a bootleg. Anyways, let's get on to stuff like the we just covered that. Let's get on to the accessories. And this figure has a lot of them. So first of all, we get the typical thing, or should be typical Figma things. You get a Ziploc baggie to hold all your accessories. Really nice. You get this little Figma tray thing in opaque plastic, rather than this one coming with a clear one. This is so you can store all your hands. Really nice. You also get the hands. So first of all, she comes in with, you take her out of the package with the fists pre-attached. She also has these splayed out hands. Very nice, very nice. You get these two hands, which these two are slightly different. This is so you can recreate her iconic pose where she's has her sword in front of her, and she puts both hands on top of the hilt sort of pose. She has hands for that. She has grabby hands, so she can hold her bakuzan. She has two hands, which these are different than the other grabby hands. These grabby hands have a tighter grip, so therefore the scissor blade that she comes with. And then we have one of these hands and it's just the one. It's just the left hand, and it has a rectangular-esque peg hole. This I think I've only found use for this for the decapitated version of her scissor blade, that she comes with. So I have all them hands, alternative hands. She also comes packaged with an extra piece, with an extra wrist piece, in case one breaks. She also comes with a pair of faces, one where she's looking off to the side, and then one where she's yelling. So this face can come off pretty easily. Bangs come off. Face likes to fall off. It's not missing, I'll get it. So, she can look off to the side a little bit. Probably looking at her at Junket's in the eye. At one eye. And then you have the nice screaming face. This yelling face. Really, really cool. Yelling face is done real nicely. Real nicely. Now I'm going to take this hand off so I can replace it with, where is it? Man, I should get these hands organized. So I can replace it with this because I'm going to be showing off what she can do with these swords that she comes with. So she comes with quite a few. So she comes with, first of all, she comes with the scissor blade, the secondary scissor blade. Really nice. Has like this really nice shade of red to it. Here is the scissor in its decapitation mode. Here are the two side by side. They're both pretty pointy. Here, and of course, she has her Baku, her iconic weapon of choice, the Bakuzan. Very, very nice. Gives this nice thin black blade. And then you have this accessory, which is basically Bakuzan in its hilt. But if you try pulling the hilt out, you get no blade. This is probably because if you try pushing this blade into the hilt, into the sheath, it'll probably damage the blade and possibly this part too. So I believe that's why I did. Also, something else that they've probably done is they have it so it's removable, so you can recreate those scenes in the anime where Satsuki is just ever so slightly pulling the blade out of the sheath. Really nice touch. Now, attaching these weapons onto the hands is pretty easy. Like I said, pretty easy. Here she is with her iconic sword. Really nice. Now, let me just take this off so I can show you something else, because there is one more accessory I would like to show you, and that's this. Now, this is basically a little pin to basically combine the two scissor blades. So basically what you do is you pull these two pieces apart. You're gonna have like this part with the little thing, then the little tiny red piece. Keep an eye on that. Can be pretty easy to lose these. Now this part I'm gonna push through here, and then combine the two, and boom. here you have the scissor blades all combined up and ready to go. Really nice. And these can work like a pair of scissors, like you would expect a pair of scissors to do. Like here you can definitely tell the differences between the plastics used for these separate blades. Like you can definitely tell the difference, but it's not too bad. I mean, they're at least both red. Now, something else you can do with this is you can take these off. Then what I'm trying to do is, so if you want, you can combine the two halves of the decapitated blades and then form this kind of monstrosity. It looks absolutely amazing. Looks really sick. Really nice. I've seen the combined scissor blades do a few really nice transformation like things, but I don't think that they've done this when combined. But it does look really cool. Really cool. Now she also has hands to grab onto the scissor blades, and oh yeah, she has one hand where it's basically just a rectangle, where she has like a rectangular port. Now I can only see that the only use I found for it is to grab onto the decapitated blade that she comes with. So there's that. And I think with that I've covered the accessories, I think. Unless I'm missing something. Like I've covered faces. Dropped one of the faces, but I'll get that later. Yeah, I think I'll get the that likes to fall off. Anyways, next parts, I'll do the size comparisons. So obviously I already have Figma Ryuko over here. I'll just be sliding her over on this side. She still has the microphone. Kinda cool. So first comparisons, I'll be comparing these two to Siege Skytread and Siege Spinister. The Transformer Siege Deluxe class of both deluxe class, even though one's shorter and one's taller. Both Siege. Both pretty cool. Now, I think the only reasons why I'm actually comparing these two to these two is that all four of these have been on Netflix at some point. So that's nice. Next comparison I'd like to make is actually my last review, the Armada Megatron. The Transformers Legacy Armada Megatron. Of course I had to throw this in because they're basically both the kings and queens the king and queen of towering tall shoulder pads. Like, really nice. I can't get this guy fully in frame because of it. But, like, one of my main issues with this guy is the fact that his shoulders, like, can't go forward or back or left or right or anything. Like, pretty limited as where his shoulders are. Where the figma, satsuki, really fixes them issues with the shoulder pads. And does so in a very graceful way. Really nice. And for one final comparison, because I think it's funny, I'll be comparing these two to the Legacy Evolution. Okay, your voice ready for this? Super Saiyan Dirge! That's... Yes, now we're having a screaming competition started. Oh, that's funny. Both absolutely screaming from the top of their lungs. Or in Dirge's case, like, I don't know what Dirge has aside from lungs, but something Cybertronian, I'm sure. I am super sure. Oh, and something else I would like to mention with the paint is that I like how the rest of how the white on this figure looks nice and has like this like nice matte finish, whereas his eyes have like that nice shine to them. Kind of gives off the illusion that his eyes, that he just blinked and re-moisturized his eyes. Really cool. And one more thing I do want to mention is that this figure, all the joints and all the connections, aside from the skirt pieces, all of the joints and connection pieces feel so nice and so smooth and so good. Whereas this one, there are some joints that don't quite fit properly. And that's what makes me think even more that this is a bootleg. But I'm still really nice. And final thoughts. This figure is really nice. Figma Satsuki Kiryuin, really cool. I do have my very minor, I may add, but the worst nitpick I have against this figure are really how loose the connections of those little skirt pieces are. That's pretty much it. Oh. So I guess that'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to like and subscribe, or maybe even comment. And yes, I will... Oh, one more thing before I leave. I forgot to talk about this! How could I forget that? It's her foot soldier army, her 1-star Goku uniform army. So you basically undo that. And that's tape, not the tape. I want to save the packaging. It's basically a card. It's basically a cut. It's basically a paper cutout. That's awesome. Whoop. Yeah, that's really cool. It's basically a paper cutout, but it's still really cool. I am definitely going to be printing out an army of these guys to display alongside this figure. So cool. And with that, I think that'll be it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment. And I will be posting again sooner or later.